Hello everyone and welcome back to the UConn Huskies Dynasty. In the last episode, we lost a game to Syracuse 34-31, and with about 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, we were up 31-17, so it was a true choke job. In today's episode, we have one of the toughest matchups on the entire season as we go to Pittsburgh to face the Pitt Panthers. Outside of our meeting with Ohio State, this might be the toughest matchup. It's probably either them or UCF. As you might recall, UConn was ranked 25th at the start of the last episode before losing to the Orange, and are now, of course, no longer in the top 25. But here's a look at how the top 25 is looking currently. No big surprises. Everyone here seems fairly deserving. Arizona being one of the lowest rated teams in terms of overall, but pretty much everyone is here for a reason. Here's a quick look at the stats through the first two games. Nick Evers having a pretty good season just with the 3 interceptions. Rushing, it's been the Victor Rosa show with 182 yards on the ground, but he's been doing a lot in receiving as well. But Shamar Porter dominates that statistic with already 347 yards on the season, averaging 173 per game. Defensively, it's Zachary Spears leading the way in tackles by a decent amount, all the way up to 22. He also leads the team in tackles for loss, tied with Julian Simon and Curvins Chute. And he also leads the team in sacks, tied with Cam Chadwick. Zachary Spears not that high rated of a player, but he gets stuff done. So here's what we're looking at for recruiting. I've scheduled a visit for Dorian Tobin, and we are currently doing a hard sell. I'm also doing a hard sell for Max Cadet, though I don't know how much we're going to be able to keep up with Penn State if they really truly want him. We're on to a hard sell with Wayne Rourke, who we have a pretty significant lead with, as well as Manny Smith. So a lot of these guys where we're learning more about them, I've just switched them to hard sells. And then I've brought a few guys higher up the board, like Dom Osgood, who we're battling UMass for, who is a 2-star gem. But generally it is mostly the same. But here's kind of an update on how we're doing. JD Webb looks like he's going to be a pretty surefire thing coming to UConn. Tyler Weiner, we've got a pretty good lead on. UMass wants him as well. Kevin Simonson, we are number 1 on. We're the only one to offer a scholarship. One guy I'm really excited about that I haven't mentioned a ton is Marcus Angler. He does not have a lot of teams heavily pursuing him, Mississippi State being the only one to offer a scholarship. So I'm super hopeful that we can get him in, but not a lot to talk about at the moment. We're really kind of just waiting for guys to get down to their top 5 and then to their top 3 so that we can start getting some commits. But I feel pretty good about getting probably 3 of these top 4 4-star guys that we're after. I think that we might have to back out on Max Cadet. We'll see how this next week goes. But enough of that. It's time for some UConn football. Heading off to Acrisure Stadium to face the Pitt Panthers and hopefully get an upset victory on the road. Obviously trying to bounce back from the failure that was a week ago against Syracuse, but against a much tougher opponent in Pitt this week. Pitt will start with the football first. Let's take a look at their offense. They are quarterbacked by sophomore Eli Holstein. If memory serves, he was previously an Alabama commit that is now transferred to Pitt. And he is a very, very good player. 87 speed with a big arm at 95 throw power and decent accuracies, though he does struggle to throw deep, which is a little unfortunate considering the power of the arm. But he's got an elite ability to throw on the run, and he's very fast. Halfback 1 is Desmond Reed, a senior. Wide receiver 1 is Kenny Johnson, and they have Raphael Williams Jr. and Dejon Reynolds. And their tight end 1 is senior Jake Renda. A lot of seniors on this team, but at least their quarterback is a sophomore. I did change up the sliders a bit, so you might see gameplay be slightly different. I didn't change that much though, as it's going to be a handoff to Reed to start the day. Nobody can tackle him, and he gets marked as a first down. Seemed like he should have been stopped dead in the backfield, but he got away. Now out of the shotgun, Holstein hands off Reed again, and Zachary Spears and Chris Grubbs are there. 2nd and 9. I would imagine we'll see maybe a good chunk of Reed option, considering you've got a quarterback that can run as well as he can. Looking down the field, it's going to be intercepted by Lee Millette III. Got some blockers trying to juke back to the outside and gets to the 47. What a start for the UConn defense. Lee Millette III with the only interception so far this season for the Huskies. That's his 2nd on the year. So here comes the UConn offense, given excellent field position by the senior safety Lee Millette III. On 1st and 10, it's Victor Rosa on the carry, cuts this back inside. Still technically on his feet, eventually goes down. So a big 3rd and 4. Evers back to pass. Blitz coming from Pitt. Gets it to Porter, but it's short of the first down yardage, and they want us to go for it here. I'm in agreement. 4th and 1 from the 38. I don't trust our freshman kicker. I think going for it here is what makes sense. Evers back to pass to Victor Rosa, and he does hold on. It's a 1st and 10 for UConn. 2nd and 8. Evers back to pass once again. Has Victor Rosa underneath. Can he make somebody miss? No, not quite. And that sets up a 3rd and 2. 3rd and 2 from the 24. In motion is Darrell Robinson, and it's the jet touch pass. Does he have the speed to get to the edge? He does, and that's enough for a 1st down. As now the Huskies enter the red zone. Evers out of the shotgun. Robinson back there with him, and down he goes. No gain. 2nd and 10 from the 19. Evers back to throw, waiting for a man to get open. Finally, Shamar Porter does, and it's a pickup of 8, sets up a 3rd and 2. So from the 11, another 3rd down for UConn. Back to pass and over the middle, looking for Gathings, laid out, but it's a 1st and goal. On 2nd and goal, we bring Victor Rosa back into the game, and the right tackle gets beat. So no dice there for UConn, and now it's 3rd and goal from the 6. And Evers is back to throw, rolling, finding his man, a wide open Shamar Porter, his 4th touchdown grab on the season. Touchdown UConn. And off the back of the Lee Millette interception and a 4th down conversion, the UConn Huskies will take an early lead. You gotta remember that this year is a little bit of a test year for UConn, a much harder schedule, a lot of ACC opponents, trying to see if the Huskies can hang. And so far, the rush defense has not been great today. 2nd down and 1 after the big carry for Reed. And now it's going to be another handoff to Reed. Lovelace can't make the tackle. It appears nobody can make tackles. 1st and 10 for Pitt. Under 2 minutes left here in the 1st quarter. As it's going to be another handoff to Reed. Another big running lane. And another 1st down for the Panthers. They just stick to the run game all day. I'm not sure how much we'll be able to do. 1st and 10 from the 47. Their blocking has been elite. Maybe Price Yates makes a stop. No, nobody can tackle. Finally, Cam Chadwick does. Lucky that that's no gain. So make it 2nd down and 10 from around midfield. Holstein will actually look to throw this time. Last time he threw a pick. This time it's a completion down the field to the 34. They appear to be finding their mojo offensively. Not that it wasn't working on the first drive, just of course had the interception as Reed gets another carry. Lee Millette there to make the tackle. A 3rd down situation. Can UConn get a stop defensively? Holstein finds a gap in the zone and gets to the 10. 1st down, Pitt. And now they're in the I formation. It's basically goal to go, although they could get a 1st down. Julian Simon is there and brings Reed down. Loss of 4. Makes it 2nd and 14, under 9 minutes left in the half. Holstein hands off Reed again. Simon forces him to make a cut up the middle, and Zachary Spears cleans it up, no gain. Makes it 3rd and 14. Just have to keep him out of the end zone here. Holstein back to pass, of course. Has a man, back shoulder throw, an absolute dime from Holstein. Touchdown for the Panthers. They made that drive look incredibly easy. I thought the coverage would be there that time. Seemed like we might have them held to a field goal. But no, a back shoulder throw from Holstein gets the job done. And it's going to be a tie football game. The good news for UConn is that the interception kind of stole the momentum from Pitt. So now as long as we can basically just manage to score every time, we'll be looking pretty good as Victor Rosa gets a pickup of 7. 2nd down and 3 as we'll go back to Victor Rosa. Tries to make a man miss, but does get the 1st down in the process. From the 39, Evers is back to pass. Going to dump this off to the halfback Rosa, who makes a man miss, still on his feet, goes down at the 50. A 1st down for the Huskies. Helps to have a guy like Victor Rosa that you can check down to. 6 minutes left. It's play action. Evers throws, looking for Hansen, incomplete. That was a huge blitz from Pitt. Will they send it again? No, not this time. But we might have Lewis Hanson over the middle. We do. What a dime from Nick Evers, rifling that one in the middle of the field. And it's a first down for UConn. 2nd and 12 after the loss, and Evers is back to throw again. And no time again. Jaden Bass, the right tackle, struggling against the Pitt D-line. In fact, I don't think that is Jaden Bass. Did Jaden Bass get injured? For some reason, that's Karsten Cassidy in at right tackle. I don't know why Jaden Bass was demoted. He should absolutely be in. I did not do that intentionally. Big time 3rd down for UConn. Get this to Victor Rosa. Can he make a man miss in open space? Fighting for the yards. It's 4th and 1 from the 20. We could kick a field goal to take the lead, or we could go for it. The main issue here is that I don't trust the new kicker. And by the new kicker, I mean myself. But that's the narrative that I'm creating. So on 4th and 1, jet touch pass. Victor Rosa goes down, doesn't get it done. And Pitt will take over. This one is on me. This is user error. Unfortunately, the game doesn't give you the opportunity to cut until like here is kind of when the player gets control. It's an animation until this point. And then you can see that I literally hesitated cutting and going straight on to the right. If I had just picked one or the other, I'd probably get that first down. 1st and 10 Pitt. They take over from around the 20 after that, and it's a keeper for the quarterback, Holstein, and Lovelace couldn't make the tackle but slowed him up enough. Now it's 2nd down and 14 from the 17. Holstein out of the shotgun. We'll hand off to Reed. Fuller's there, and it's only a 3-yard pickup. So now it's 3rd and 11 from the 20. Need a stop here from UConn. Not gonna happen. Brinson cannot keep up with the wide out, and it's a 1st and 10 for Pitt. I felt like the coverage was good enough where a sack could have happened, but our pass rush has not been there this season. Julian Simon in the backfield again. 2nd and 14, as we seem to get TFLs frequently, but then can't make stops past that. And it's going to be another 3rd and 11 for Pitt. From the 40, 3rd and 11. Are we going to give it up again? This time, Julian Simon gets home. It's a sack for the senior linebacker. Down goes Holstein, and they'll have to punt it away. We'll burn our first time out so they can't kill any more clock. 1st and 10, UConn. An opportunity to take a lead before we head to the half. Rolling to his right is Evers, just going to dump this off to the tight end Hanson. Try to get some yardage out of it, and it gets 8. On 2nd down and 2. We're going to actually go to the ground here. Robinson doesn't have a lot of room to work with because the center keeps getting beat immediately. It was enough for a first down. A minute and some change left to play as we get this one to Shamar Porter. Clock keeps moving on 2nd and 4. Back to pass again. Victor Rosa open left side, gets a block downfield and gets out of bounds at the 32 with under a minute left in the half. From the 32 on 1st and 10, we're back to pass. And we'll get this to Dejon Harrison, but Shamar Porter missed his block. 40 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 8, Evers to throw. Wants Victor again. Has a block from Lewis Hanson and goes out of bounds at the 17. 2nd and 8, 31 seconds left. We're back to pass again, and it's going to Victor Rosa again, and he goes out of bounds at the 7, 3rd and inches. 27 seconds left. Evers to throw. Has Rosa left side, and he's going to be brought down, but now it's 1st and goal. 1st and goal from the 3. Evers back to pass. Nobody really open. Stepping up in the pocket. Taking off to the right. Touchdown, Huskies. Nick Evers does it with his legs. Stepping up in the pocket after seeing nobody was open and getting into the end zone. UConn retakes the lead. It's going to be 14-7 after the PAT. And we start with the football in the second half. We head to halftime. UConn up 14-7 on Pitt. Passing game's been working really well for us today. Run game has still sort of continued to struggle throughout the season. It just seems like the blocking is never there in the running game. As I mentioned, UConn starts with the football here in the second half with a great opportunity to take a 2-possession lead over Pitt. And again, our center just cannot block. I think I got to substitute somebody in. Let's take a look at Mike Wilson's stats. We did convert him from a guard to a center, and he must just have abysmal run blocking. And I'm kind of right. His run block power is a 58, but his finesse and regular run blocking are in the 80s. And it's not like it would get much better with Jake Kiernan, but I think it's because his run block power is so bad. Seems like we'll just have to stop running inside zones, maybe do some outside running to the left side where we have Jacob Rizzi, our left tackle, who's one of the best players on the O-line. So we get this one off even through the blitz, and Shamar Porter has excellent downfield speed. He's breaking away. He's to the 20. He's to the 10. No one's gonna catch him. Touchdown, Shamar Porter. And that's why you don't send a huge blitz at Nick Evers. He's gonna punish you with the speed threat sophomore wideout, Shamar Porter, having an incredible season thus far in year 2 of the Huskies dynasty, and he gets another touchdown on the day and a huge chunk of yardage. This PAT here will make it 21-7 for UConn, who now has a 2-possession lead. Burst and 10 from the 25 for Pitt. And Holstein on an RPO throws, but it is incomplete. Remember that we did have a 2-possession lead against Syracuse and ended up choking that one away. So I don't necessarily feel safe as Reed goes down to Yates and Lovelace. And that makes it a 3rd down and 7 for the Pitt Panthers, as it's going to be a throw down the field, finding his tight end, a diving play. And that is complete. Jake Renda, what a grab. It was Zachary Spears in coverage as well. An excellent coverage linebacker. I mean, previously a safety, of course. As this is another RPO, over pursued by Lee Millette III. A broken tackle, another broken tackle. Can anybody bring him down? Goodness. 3 broken tackles, and he's all the way to the 17. Pitt is in the red zone. First down and 10 after the huge pickup. And now Holstein's back to pass again, has time, finds Renda, who actually holds on through that hit. Now a 3rd down and 3. Would not be surprised to see them go to the ground here. They do, and Curvin's chute is all over it. It's 4th and 3, and they'll settle for the field goal attempt. The kicker, Perry Blankenship, is on to attempt the field goal from the right hash. We've seen a lot of these college kickers miss from this exact spot, but not Blankenship. It's up, it's good. It's 21-10 for UConn. So UConn takes back over. 2nd and 7 from the 28. Looking to choose some clock, whittle this time away. Another score here would be excellent, as Evers lucky to get that one off, but does find the halfback Victor Rosa, and he gets a pickup of 7. We're seeing some wear and tear here for Nick Evers. May need to consider bringing him out of the game at some point. Definitely don't want our star quarterback getting injured. 3rd and 1, and we'll try to run this up the middle with Darrell Robinson, and he gets it done. A 1st down for UConn. This is my first time really having to deal with wear and tear to a position as critical as a quarterback. Evers has typically been very, very durable. Don't want to risk him getting injured, so we'll go Robinson's way on the ground, and he's going to make us proud, getting a juke. Actually looked like Skylar Bell may have pushed the defender in the back into Robinson. Evers still an injury risk, so we'll go back to the ground again. Victor Rosa has a running lane, and that's a pickup of 8. As long as the running game is working and we can continue to give Evers some rest, we're going to keep doing it. 2nd and 2. Rosa on the carry, makes a man miss, but then fumbles the football. It is recovered by the Huskies, though. That wear and tear from Evers still not coming back up. Is that just where he's going to be at for the rest of the game, potentially, as Robinson gets a carry, gets 2 yards. 2nd and 8. We'll try play action. A blitz on its way. Evers gets the ball off, finds Shamar Porter again. 1 man to beat, breaks another tackle, and goes down at the 1. Shamar Porter is a superstar in the making. In another situation where Evers is hit as he throws. That's happened a lot today, but he has still been accurate. 1st and goal from the 1. We'll try it on the ground. Darrell Robinson, touchdown UConn. As they're making the Pitt defense look silly today. I knew we might have an explosive offense this year with the improvements of Robinson, the improvements of Rosa, the speed threats we have at wide receiver, specifically Shamar Porter. But we have been even better than I expected. Pitt needs to score, has to score on this drive to try to get back into this one. Holstein, man in motion. It's the tight end, and it's a handoff to the running back. I'm not sure why they're still running the football. I'd definitely be throwing down by 18, but that's me, and I just lost to Syracuse. So 2nd and 8 from the 27 as Holstein to throw over the middle, has his man Lovelace is there to make the tackle, but it is a first down for Pitt. From the 41, 1st and 10. Looks like it's going to be another handoff to Reed, forced to the outside where Lee Millette III was waiting a TFL. Nearing the end of the 3rd quarter, 2nd and 12 from the 39. As handing it off to Reed again. Spears is there and eventually tackled by Julian Simon. It's 3rd down. 7 yards between them and a fresh set of downs. Will they snap the ball before the end of the 3rd quarter? They will not. So we head to the 4th with the Huskies up 28-10. 3rd and 7 from the 44. Big 3rd down here for Pitt. They will check it down to the halfback, Reed. He's going to be short of the 1st. What will they decide to do here? They're going for it. I'm not necessarily surprised to see them line up to go for this. Will they go to the ground, though, is the ultimate question. They do actually, and I believe he got there. He did. 2nd and 10 from midfield. Holstein out of the pistol. Does look to throw, has his man, and that is complete. Now it is a 3rd down situation. 8:31 left to play in the game. Holstein throws, finds his man, and he holds on through the sandwich tackle. That tight end of theirs, Jake Renda, is an animal. He holds on to everything. The man drops nothing. Stickiest hands in the business. As Holstein finds his man this time, and it's a pickup of 6. 2nd down and 4 from the 26. Holstein will fake the handoff, rolls out to his right. Julian Simon not fast enough to keep up with Holstein, who's still on his feet, goes down at the 9, a big pickup for the quarterback. And that sets up a 1st and goal for Pitt. Definitely, like I said, have to score on this drive. There's no two ways about it, as that one is knocked away. Well played by Damon Brinson. On 2nd and goal, they'll go to the air again, and over the middle, knocked out again. This time it's Zachary Spears with the hit. 3rd and goal. If we get the stop here, I'd imagine they settle for a field goal, though I'm not entirely certain. But the first thing is getting the stop. They're not going to get the field goal anyway. Holstein throws it straight to the safety. Chris Grubb's waiting arms. He's waving to the crowd, telling them, see you later. UConn coming into Acrisure and looking like they're going to get an upset over the Pitt Panthers as Holstein just threw their comeback chance away. I mean, he was sitting there the whole time. Why do you make that throw? This is a crazy throw from Holstein. He must have just not seen Grubbs. I mean, he was there the whole time. He threw it right to him. It's like they were playing catch. Game over. UConn comes to Pittsburgh and gets the upset. 28-10 is the final. UConn was in control from the Lee Millette interception in the 1st quarter. Player of the game, completely deservedly so, is Nick Evers, who had an incredible day. What a day for UConn. It never felt like Pitt was that much of a challenge. If we take a look at player stats for the day, Nick Evers, another just super efficient, 23 of 26. This time no picks though, and I think that's honestly what made the difference. Just a mistake-free football game from UConn. 2 touchdown passes for Nick Evers. Now, I want your guys' opinion on this. I'm considering going back to placement passing, which is what I used in Madden 24, just because it has more of the actual players' ratings involved. I just feel like I've sort of learned the revamped passing, and I'm feeling very comfortable with Nick Evers. And he's a good quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he is only an 80 overall, and every pass I make is like 100% accurate. And I could change the QB slider, and I probably will a little bit, but just curious how you guys feel. Do you want me to continue using the revamped passing? I like it a lot. It's very fun. But from a realism standpoint, it'd be nice if Evers missed a throw from time to time, but that just doesn't happen anymore. As for rushing, Robinson led the way in carries, but only had 39 yards, 2.2 per carry, but did have the touchdown. Rosa with 10 attempts, 44 yards, 4.4 per carry, but he always gets a lot more involved in the receiving game, as he did today. 11 receptions, 132 yards, but no touchdowns. Jamar Porter continues to get over 100 yards per game, 6 receptions, 131 yards, 21.8 average, 2 touchdowns. Defensively, Lee Millette led us in solo tackles and in total tackles. He also led us in tackles for loss, tied with Julian Simon with 3. Simon also had the only sack on the day. Chris Grubbs and Lee Millette with the 2 interceptions on the day. And you can't forget about the big fellas. Jacob Risey with 5 pancakes. He was such an excellent signing in the transfer portal. Also, Karsten Cassidy, before exiting the game due to a depth chart mix-up, did have 3 pancakes. But then Jaden Bass also got 3 in his time in the game. Not sure what to do about our center position. It seems like that run block power stat being so low really hurts us in the running game. So UConn improves to 2-1, and I'll go ahead and advance the week. Look at how far ahead Penn State got on Max Cadet. I think this is just unfortunately one of those situations where we're gonna have to give up. Apparently our playing style has changed, and it's only a C+ for David O'Brien now, so we're currently locked out. I don't know how that happened. Lee Millette III wins the FBS Independence Defensive Player of the Week, and if I had to venture a guess, I'm going to guess that Nick Evers, it's actually Shamar Porter, wins Offensive Player of the Week for the 3rd week in a row. And if we go to the top 25, we are receiving votes once again. I don't know why. Pitt is one of the best teams we've beaten so far in the Dynasty, but we have 45 top 25 votes. And honestly, I think that game is probably proof enough that we can hang in the ACC, because in reality, we're only gonna get better. So let's go ahead and announce it right now. With the departure of Clemson and Florida State, UConn will be entering the ACC after this season. I think it only makes sense. Oh, you know what? Looking at Max Cadet in the recruiting screen, we're actually not that far behind Penn State. We'd have to probably go absolutely all out on him this week though, which can be done. It's hard to say though, because Penn State is truly so close to that commitment, and we're probably just going to lose our points. I know it's probably not worth it, but we are going to go after Max Cadet. We're going to see if we can beat Penn State in the recruiting. We're just going to schedule the visit as soon as possible. So that game against App State is an absolute must win. We're doing a family visit with Max Cadet. We also need to allocate 20 more points so that we can max out the points we're putting onto him. I'm going to take these 5 points off of Larry Adams. It looks like we're going to be in his top 3 pretty much, or top 5 rather, pretty much no matter what. And then we're also pretty much guaranteed to be moving forward on Nate Putu, so we're going to remove his points temporarily as well. Now, this could come back to bite me, but I am pretty sold on getting Max Cadet. We're losing Victor Rosa this year, so we need to acquire who would hopefully be his future replacement. And the reason I freed up those 25 points is so that we could search his social media for an additional 5 and then do a soft sell for the remainder. And the best soft sell for him is proximity to home plus conference prestige plus championship contender, since of course we are already doing the hard sell on coach prestige, conference prestige, and proximity to home. But what that means is that these next 2 games are absolute must wins. I think if we lose either of these 2 games, we probably lose Max Cadet. So let's get one of those victories out of the way in this episode. We're at home once again, this time against an FCS opponent, the FCS Southeast Pandas, who I have heard are a team giving pretty much everyone fits on Heisman difficulty. We'll start on defense today, and we'll go through the team pretty quickly. Their quarterback 1 is Devon Wingate Wilson, who looks like he may be playing through an injury. Not sure why they're not just playing Miles Wicks, the junior. Halfback is Blue Redmond, and the wide receivers are Caleb Sheffield, Donovan Chandler, and Jalen Parrish Jr., all of which look extremely injured. And the tight end 1 is Kadarius Peterson. Here we go, a must win. I mean, anytime you play at home against an FCS opponent, it's a must win, as we'll bring down Blue Redmond. I know that these FCS teams have been an absolute thorn in everyone's sides, though. Hopefully we can make quick work of them, as it's a carry for Redmond again. He's brought down by Zachary Spears. Depending on if we get out to an early lead, I might give some players the day off, guys who play a ton, like a Julian Simon, like a Victor Rosa, like a Nick Evers, for example. There's a first down. Don't want to get ahead of myself, though. Obviously, no guarantee that you're going to win even against an FCS opponent. As Wingate Wilson will hand off to, is that the fullback? Kelly, I think is his last name. 2nd and 8 from the 33. Will Wingate Wilson look to throw this time? No, it's on the ground to Kelly again. Simon brings him down, and now it's 3rd and 5. And Blue Redmond is back into the game here. Or is that Richie? They have a couple halfbacks. As he's gonna go down, Wingate Wilson is sacked. It's Julian Simon, 4th and 11. The audience definitely not here as much for this game as they were against Syracuse. I guess that's probably because we aren't ranked anymore. Terrell Robinson gonna get the first carry of the day, and it's a good one. And he'll get a first down and an injury for an FCS player. 2nd and 10. Evers out of the shotgun. Will look to throw. Has his tight end. It's Lewis Hansen. He's got some running room and goes down at the 34. So another fresh set of downs for the Huskies. With 6:30 left to play in the first quarter, it's Victor Rosa on a carry. A lot of running room. And another injury for the Pandas. So now it's a 1st and 10 again. And they left Victor Rosa out there on the left side of the field. Great blocking from Skylar Bell. That's not a touchdown without the wideout hitting a huge block. And Victor Rosa finds the end zone. Touchdown UConn. They'll take an early lead against the Pandas. 1st and 10 for the Pandas. Back on offense. Can they get anything going this time? It's a keeper for the quarterback, Wingate Wilson. And he'll get 6 yards. Kind of hoping this one is just a blowout for UConn and we can just move on quickly to the App State game and see if we can contend for Max Cadet, as it's another carry for the fullback. He goes down. And we find ourselves in a 3rd down situation again. 3rd and 4 from the 22. Kelly is in the backfield out of the pistol. Throw is made quickly and caught. First down Pandas. From the 29. And it is a fake handoff and then a throw down the field. It's caught again. Everyone has the stickiest hands. That was Brandon Benson on the grab, as everyone just has the best gloves known to man. Drops, not a thing in this game, as this is going to be a pitch, a toss to the halfback. Gets 2. 2nd and 8 from the 43 for Wingate Wilson. And the offense. And it's a keeper for the quarterback again. A lot of running room. Good blocks down the field. And brought down by Cam Chadwick. So here's the offense of the Pandas, working away, having no issues on this drive. From the 27, they near the red zone, but this time, Raheem Lovelace reads it the whole way. 2nd and 13 after the loss from the freshman middle linebacker, as this one on a comeback route is complete, and that's a fresh set of downs for UGF. I realized I just called them UGF, even though that's not their name in the game. I just know that they were the UGF Pandas. That's why they exist. 1st and 10 from the 12. Wingate Wilson hands off fullback Kelly up the middle. Would love to hold them to a field goal at this point if possible. 2nd down and 6. Handoff Kelly, the fullback again. Great blocking again. And it's Lovelace with the tackle. 3rd down and 3. Nearing the end of the first, and there is a flag down. It's on a Huskies player, it looks like. Encroachment, and it'll be a first down for the Pandas. Never mind, it's not a first down. It's 3rd and inches. So they still have to try to convert the 3rd down. Can somebody make a play? Wingate Wilson. Oh my goodness, that blocking was elite. Touchdown saving tackle from Hoffman. 1st and goal from the 1. Do they go to the ground here? You gotta imagine so. They do, and it's read the whole way again by Raheem Lovelace. The freshman linebacker making his presence known here. Now it's in 2nd and goal from the 3, and that'll make it 3rd and goal from the 6. Likely going to the air here. Wingate Wilson. Time to throw. Yates in the backfield now. Wilson running and into the end zone. Touchdown for the Pandas. This quarterback has really good speed, and he uses it here to get 6 for the FCS team. Really hope this doesn't end up being a shootout against the Pandas, as Robinson will get the carry, room to run to the outside, has blockers, jukes back to the inside and gets to midfield before he's brought down. A big first down to start the drive for UConn. No issues with the run blocking today, but obviously kind of expected against an FCS opponent. Victor Rosa going to get the carry. Good blocking again. Only one man to beat. Can he outrun him to the edge? He does. Victor Rosa into the end zone. Touchdown Huskies. On just 2 plays. Our time of possession is only a touch over a minute, and we've got 2 touchdowns already. The run game working very well against the FCS Pandas. Well, the Pandas barely had a chance to rest. Let's see if they've got their wind in their sails again. Will they be able to get down the field and score one more time? Zachary Spears gets outrun by the halfback, and it's a first down pickup. So now it's 2nd and 9 from the 39. Wingate Wilson out of the shotgun, kind of anticipating a run here. And I was correct, and it goes nowhere. A pickup of a yard, which makes it 3rd down and 8. This time we've got a QB spy in the middle with Zachary Spears. He's going nowhere, but it doesn't matter when your corners are about 15 car lengths behind. Like, man, I knew man coverage was bad in college football 25, but my goodness, look at the gap here. It was obviously an exaggeration when I said 15 car lengths, but that is truly, like, you could fit like a Ford F-150 in there. Part of why I've been a zone coverage merchant in college football 25 is because it just seems to work better than man-to-man. As we go over the middle and Zachary Spears picks it off on the very next play. I apologize for complaining, defense. Although really, it's just been the star Zachary Spears. He's been everywhere this season with an interception here. And UConn takes over offensively from the 44. And obviously, it's been no trouble moving the football on the ground for UConn. But why would we do anything different? Victor Rosa on the carry, tries to juke to the outside, but already has the first down. 1st and 10 from the 43. Evers back to pass. Gonna just roll out to the left, has running room, breaks a tackle, and then goes out of bounds at the 25. So fresh set of downs, under 6 minutes left to play. So we'll look to throw here and just dump it off to the tight end, and that's Honig on the reception. He gets 6. 2nd and 4 from the 20. Evers back to pass. Stepping up in the pocket, had Porter for a second, but decides to run instead and fumbles the football. It goes out of bounds around the 13. So a play later, it's 1st and goal from the 3. Man in motion, it's Shamar Porter looking for the jet touch pass. Can he get to the end zone? He can. Touchdown, UConn. And it's just been unbelievably easy on offense today against the Pandas. So I think you guys get the point. It's 35-7 just after the half. I've brought in the backup offense for the most part. This quarterback in the game currently is Cole Welliver, but the guy running the ball right now is Mel Brown, who actually changed numbers. He was number 7 last year. Now he's wearing number 1. I didn't do that because you can't change numbers. This game's over. Obviously, we're going to win, but I did want to show you guys some of these players that you haven't seen a bunch, including Cole Welliver, who is the probably prospective starting quarterback after Nick Evers leaves, as he's got a big arm, although didn't really have the opportunity to show it off there. And funny enough, he's actually from the same hometown as Nick Evers. They're both from Flower Mound, Texas. And obviously, Evers still has his junior year, which he is crushing, and then his senior year, but at that point Welliver will be a junior going into the following season, and that seems like a pretty good time for him to start. Or it could be Tucker McDonald, who will be a senior in that season. Or maybe it's Dorian Tobin if we can end up landing him. I guess we'll find out. Right here is Dejon Harrison, a senior wide receiver who's gonna find his way to the end zone. Touchdown, UConn. And yeah, like I said, I think you get the point. 45-10 is the final. The Huskies dominating an FCS opponent. A nice little warm-up game before we go on a pretty significant road stretch, including a road game against Ohio State that is not far away on the calendar. So we advance another week, and we are on to face App State at home next episode. Double check on recruiting though, just to see how things are going with Max Cadet. He is right on the fringe with Penn State, but we've made up some serious ground. And I'm telling you, if we can beat Appalachian State in the next episode, I think we can steal him from Penn State. We'll just have to wait and see. Syracuse is starting to make up some ground on Dorian Tobin, which I am not fond of. He's another guy I feel like is just an absolute must get, and I think if we can secure Cadet, maybe we go super hard after Tobin going forward. We're still decently far ahead on a guy like Wayne Rourke, and I think otherwise we're actually doing relatively well, but we will probably schedule one more visit. Looks like Syracuse is going pretty hard after Eric Kajeste now, and we might be able to get a commit from Dom Osgood in the next episode as well. But anyway, that is going to do it for this episode. I'm going to be toying around with sliders before I touch the next episode. I do want the games to be a lot more difficult going going forward. I can assure you that I am on Heisman difficulty. I guess I unfortunately just learned really fast and now it feels very, very easy. Maybe I need to change up the playbook to like a more challenging playbook. I think UConn's playbook is actually very easy to work with against the CPU, but I don't know. If you have any suggestions, let me know. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you find yourself coming back on the regular and you aren't already subscribed, go ahead and hit that sub button for me. It does help me out a lot. And I will see you in the next episode where hopefully we secure Max Cadet the halfback.